Take me to your liter. Stay tuned.
The PrinterBot Simple Metal's full metal construction combined with a GT2 belt pulley system produces a 3D print that rivals that of most 3D printers costing thousands more. The 1.75mm Ubi's Hodden can print down to 100 micron resolution, and calibrating the Simple Metal's build plate using the auto leveling probe couldn't be easier. Learn more about my favorite 3D printer and the winner of Make's 2015 Thin Wallet Award by visiting printerbot.com.
Okay, guys. You wanted an update, a lot of you. One of my really early videos were these antennas, and I didn't really test them. I didn't really do anything. I was just kind of learning the YouTube thing. So I thought I'd bring you an update on these antennas, these super power supply antennas, and a trick I did with my ASUS router. I know a lot of you have also been seeing me complain about it, but I found a fix for it, which is maybe one of the silliest things ever, but it works really well. So first off, the antennas. They easily extended my range 3 times. I could walk all the way down past the end of my city block, which is a pretty long city block in Seattle here, and still see my access point, connect to it, and get like half bars. So I'm sure my neighbors hate them, and it kind of makes me want to build a Faraday cage around my house. But even without the gain turned up on the access point, these things in 2.4 gigahertz extended the range, I would say at least double consistently. With the gain turned up, it was easily 3 times. Now, while the 2.4 gigahertz range was incredible and the signal was very consistent and almost never dropped unless it was the access point, which we'll talk about in a minute, 5 gigahertz was horrible. So these are tuned to 2.4 gigahertz. And if you guys don't know what that means, let me know down in the comments and I can do a little small video on it someday. But basically, every signal, 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, 1 hertz, has a wave sign. And antennas are specifically designed to certain wave signs, which is why like a 2-meter ham radio, it's called a 2-meter ham radio because the wave sign is 2 meters in length, and you have a 2-meter antenna to pick up that wave sign. So, which is also why some ham radio operators can talk like halfway around the globe, because the longer the sign, the further the wave travels. It's exactly why FM is a shorter signal than AM. So AM radio stations you can always hear for further away, but the quality is worse and because there's less data in the signal. Sidetrack aside, these have that same problem. They are awesome for 2.4 gigahertz. They are horrible for 5. And that's just kind of my review of them. If you need range in the 2.4 gigahertz band and you're willing to sacrifice 5 gigahertz, these are totally worth the price of admission. Now, the last downside to these is because they just screw on and they don't have a very strong, there you can see it. It can't hold itself under its own weight. They're so big and they're so heavy, if you don't have them straight up on your antenna, they'll start doing this. And then they fall all over the place. So that said, like I said, if you need extra range on your 2.4 gigahertz, they're totally worth it. That's all there is about it. Now, let's get on to the access point, which is up here behind the lovely photos of my wife. About once a month or more, I would have to reset it. Now, in my mind, ASUS routers are better than that. Because when it's stable, it's perfectly stable and totally happy. The room I'm in is always 72 degrees or very close to 72 degrees. And the TV in the cabinet is never on. So the heat, where the ambient temperature where it is very constant. Like very, very constant. Now, if I start doing stuff like turning on my VPN, both my wife and I are streaming at the same time, especially like uploading videos to YouTube, stuff that's like network intensive, then eventually it will overheat and I will have to come reset it. So let's take a look at the solution. and we'll talk about how it's been working, because it's ridiculous. Okay guys, so here's my solution. There's my cable modem blinking away happy, and there is the router, the access point. So as you can see, now it'll draw air in from the sides and vent it out the top, and there's a lot more venting on the top there. And I just lifted it up with a couple Cat in the Hat erasers. So it's been a million times more stable this way. I mean, like ridiculously more stable. The antenna direction, of course, doesn't matter, just because they're the right direction. So it doesn't matter whether they're upside down or not. Okay, guys, so that was the solution. I don't want to take it down because I'm actually downloading or uploading a video to the internet right now. So the solution was a couple of erasers I stole from my kids and flipping the thing upside down. It hasn't been more stable the whole time I've owned it. I haven't reset it once. The signals are better. I feel like it's faster. I don't see a lot of lag. It doesn't seem to be bogging down like it was. And I think a ton of that is the top of it just doesn't have vent holes. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Heat rises and there's no fan in this. So it gets air in and then tries to like shove it out those little tiny side vents, and it's just not enough. So now the air kind of comes in the side vents and everything can just vent out the top like a chimney. So it works. If you have one of these and you've been having similar issues, or even if you have a different brand and you've been having similar issues, try flipping it upside down and getting it up a little bit, because you don't want to sit it flat down on something that would be just as bad as having it the other way around. This is Tim for TimmyTechTV. Guys, make sure you check out the new store, shop.TimmyTechTV.com. T-shirts up there. We're going to have some mugs and some glassware and all sorts of cool stuff, kind of just like everybody else. You can always still support us, Amazon.TimmyTechTV.com. I'm always on Twitter. That's where I'm the most active on social media, at TimmyTechTV. And until next time, this is Tim. Because, I named the channel after myself. See ya.